Oh, dude, no, dude, no, 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 no. Oh. Oh. Whew. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, no. No, dude. What the f*** is all? Oh, God. Oh. Good evening, campers, dreamers, and babysitters. And yes, we are back with another disturbing movies list. This time we are counting down what are, in my opinion, 5 films that are more disturbing, more messed up, gross, whatever you want to call it, than August Underground. Yes, this very, very infamous, disturbing found footage horror film. There's, I think, 3 of these in the series. I've never seen the sequels, but the first one I was very familiar with. This is, of course, one of the ones you seek out very early. Yes, just like Salo, just like Serbian film. I feel like many people stumble across this one relatively towards the top of any of the more, I guess you'd say, standard disturbing horror movies lists. But you're probably not familiar with some of these films. Yes, I got a few little tiny, I guess you'd call them hidden gems. I wouldn't call these are fucking awful. They're not gems. But before we hop into the list, I just want to, of course, thank you for stopping by, checking out this video. If you think we deserve it, I'd love it if you could hit that like button. Save us from the algorithm gods. They really do not like when I talk about certain movies that I have to talk about today. But other than that, we do have a wonderful sponsor in the form of the folks over at NordVPN. A little bit more from them later on in the video. But yeah, as well as if you're new here, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and help us get to 40,000 subscribers. So that is that. Let's get to it, folks. Let's talk about some films. Let's just get right into it. And coming in at my number 5 spot, we have 1985's Guinea Pig 2, Flower of Flesh and Blood. Late at night, a woman is kidnapped by an unknown assailant and taken back to his blood-splattered dungeon, where he turns her into a flower of blood and flesh through a series of dismemberments. Alright, so we knew at some point in this series we were going to have to discuss the Guinea Pig films. I was very familiar with them. I knew pretty much they're what everybody says about them, how they're just really just people getting chopped up, dissected in front of you. They're really rough. They're probably just as famous as August Underground. I'd say they're probably about on the same level. So with that said, I can say for that reason and the fact that this movie's only 40 something minutes, it's 42 minutes. This is my softball pick. You know, I always have them on here where it's one that I could give or take as more disturbing than it. But to me, there's an extra level of just cringe inducing when it comes to 2 elements in this film. That is the sound design, and that is purely the slow, agonizing, awful time this man takes with cutting this woman to pieces. It's so slow, it's so agonizing, and it's the longest 40 minutes you'll ever sit through, because that's all this is. That's all we're watching, is somebody get dissected. At times it looks a little, I guess effects based. It looks very much like a movie. Other times though, it's pretty f***ed up. Whew. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Whew. I do not like the sound. I think where this film shines is in that sound design, the sawing of bones, the cracking of skulls. It's all here, folks. There's nothing left off the table. You see every little piece, nook and cranny of this poor woman, and she turns into what our samurai calls the flower of flesh. And that last shot is certainly going to make your stomach churn. I don't think it's going to make you projectile vomit if you know what you're getting into, but just the slow pace of this film and how you're just watching this person get dissected and then just capping it off with the good old maggots and rot in some kind of like garden of flesh ladies. It's awful. It's twisted, it's messed up. And again, I think it just comes to what you're looking for. If you're looking for something that's a little bit more fast paced, that has a little bit more, I hate to say this, but charisma, that's what August Underground is. This is just cold. This is just cold, like stylized. We are just cutting somebody up and making you watch it. So yeah, Guinea Pig 2 for me certainly deserves a spot on this list. And moving into my number 4 spot, we have 1999's The Green Elephant. 2 Russian prisoners are abused mentally and physically. Yep, that about sums it up. That's correct. This movie is really just that. You have 2 characters, both prisoners here, and they just they start off kind of just messing with each other, giving each other some shit here and there, just talking a lot of smack and just kind of being just guys being dudes, and then it gets really, really strange, and it gets really violent and really, really rapey. Yeah, it's definitely an oddball. So for starters, this movie, I mean, it can't help itself. There's only 2 guys in this really shitty room or section of rooms, and you got to work with what you got. And this is a movie that, of course, it's got to be in there. It's in almost all of these movies. One of our guys wakes up in the middle of the night, strips down naked, takes a plate and just shits on it, and he starts eating it. Ugh. Oh God, no. Why, bro? Yeah, just starts going to town, just starts wolfing it down bite by bite, and then he starts rubbing it all over himself. His roommate wakes up pissed. They start screaming at each other, and then their guards come in and they start screaming at them, and it's just one big ball of confusion here, folks. Like I'm just watching this like, what the hell is going on? And at this point, I'm like, okay, that's gross, but it's not worse than August Underground. Yeah, it quickly turns into both of these prisoners just attacking each other and beating the shit out of each other, beating each other bloody. And then one of them begins to dominate the other and just go to town on him. Oh, Jesus. He's just boinking him over here, boinking him over there. They're boinking every which way in this room, and it's brutal, and it's in your face, and it's awful. After the boinking, where dude just starts gutting the guy, he just gets into his stomach and starts pulling out, and it gets real medieval, like quite literally. It gets real gross, because he starts draping the organs all over himself. It's a movie that starts off, again, 30-40 minutes seriously of them just hanging out, talking, getting to know each other, and then it just, after the pooping, it just goes off the rails. The Green Elephant is one that I certainly will never watch this movie again. And I don't think any of you with weak stomachs should ever seek this movie out, because this one, it is very, very in your face. It is not shy away from stuff. this is borderline cinema. Like, it's pretty rough, and certainly deserves a spot on this list. And making our way into the number 3 pick, we have 2006's Cannibal, an internet advertisement placed by a man with a cannibalistic obsession brings yield a willing victim to serve up his own flesh in this dramatic account of the crime that shocked the world. Well, Marion Dora. Yes, we are back with another one of his films. Last one we talked about was Angel's Melancholy. That was that was a watch, and I was more prepared this time for what this guy was all about, and even that didn't help, because Cannibal, it's a gross movie. It wouldn't be on this list if it wasn't, but this movie, again, just like our last one, I don't know what it is about a lot of the dudes boinking other dudes, man. Like, this is another one. This one, I can say is at least a bit, for at least a while, consensual, which, cool, points for that. But, yeah, I mean, this movie is a lot of interesting setup, I'll say. Like, it was kind of neat watching him get into the head of this dude as he's trying to live out this fantasy of person. And as we're kind of moving through that story, we get to the point where the two guys who are talking on the internet here meet, and then it just turns into, I shit you not, probably like 12, 15 minutes. It's just softcore gay porn.
Is that dick good? Yes, dick. How good is that dick? Oh, how good.
I got nothing else for you. That's what happens for probably about 15 minutes in this movie. And then it goes from that to, you know, just straight violence, defecation. There's a lot of, in this film. There's quite a bit of it. There's some chewing, there's some spitting of that said area. But I think the movie really takes the extra step here when that organ is cooked, prepared, and then eaten by the two characters. It's quite interesting. It's awful. Oh! Stop it! And of course, with a movie called Cannibal, with all this that you've heard so far, the last portion of this film, probably the last 15 minutes, is just watching our main character just chop up, fillet, and collect basically this entire rest of this man, process him, and basically stash him away as food for, however long you can eat human, I guess, for that long. Yeah, this movie is certainly not a beginner's film. Don't go into this after only watching like one or two disturbing movies. You need to work your way up to this one. This one, it's gross, it's brutal, and it's not shying away from any of the cannibalistic torture that it permeates through. So yeah, Cannibal 2006. Holy shit, that's a rough one. I totally forgot to mention too, this is all based off a true story. Now I'm sure maybe some of it's embellished, but like, this is based off of a real case. I was completely shocked to learn that this was, I guess they do set it up for you, but like, when I'm watching the movie and they start showing those cards, I'm like, what the hell? This is based off of the Armin Maywest case. Yeah, so that's crazy. So I'm gonna definitely have to look into that and see kind of what the comparison is between those, because that's wild. You want to know what else is wild? Getting online and trying to find these movies without using a VPN. Like, it's 2025, guys. What are you doing? Like, if you're out there sailing the high seas looking for MP4s and video files to check some of these lost, disturbing movies out, you gotta make sure you're protected. Always make sure you're strapped up. And that's why we have our good friends over at NordVPN here to help us do just that. Being a YouTuber who talks about movies for a living, you cannot do this job without having a reliable VPN in your back pocket. And that's why I'm so excited to be partnering with NordVPN, keeping you safe from things like malware, viruses, and of course, pesky ad trackers and pop-ups. But by far the biggest plus that NordVPN offers that I rarely see people highlighting is the fact that this service can cover all the devices in your home. Any tablets, any phones, any computers, Nord is compatible with and will keep them safe no matter where you take them. Yes, with the NordVPN app downloaded to your phone, you can walk around with that same guaranteed protection that you have on your desktop. So if you're not already taking advantage of all of the benefits NordVPN has to offer, please go take a look at our link in the description, nordvpn.com/splattercast, and you'll get yourself access to a 2-year plan plus 4 months extra with a huge discount. And it's completely risk-free because Nord always offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. So do yourself a favor and take advantage of the discount down below. And of course, thank you again to the folks over at Nord for sponsoring this video. So without further ado, let's hop back into this list. And taking my number 2 spot, we have 1988's Man Behind the Sun. Japanese troops round up Chinese and Russian prisoners of war and take them to Unit 731, where they were horribly tortured and experimented on to test new biological weapons. Okay, so if you don't know about Unit 731, I highly recommend checking out a couple of YouTube videos. I know Wendigoon does a really good one. There's a few others floating around out there that will go over that historical event and just kind of what that entails. Now, if you're somebody who wants to watch something without necessarily knowing all of the historical context, you can get away with that here. You can, because this movie truly shocked me. This is a very infamous, disturbing horror film. But I can say out of everything that I have watched on these last 3 lists, this is probably the most like movie, like actually attempt at making some kind of true cinematic art that we have here. And I think this movie, it's right up there with me with like Schindler's List at this point. Like, this is a very fresh watch, but this movie, it's harrowing. It's depressing. It is unflinching. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, yikes. It's extremely well done. It's extremely impactful. And I'm not even like trying to make fun or poke jokes at this one. This one is certainly a shock to the system. There's a lot of things in here that I know to some of you, you're going to say certain things are dated. There's a sequence involving a baby in the snow where this mother is separated from her child, and they cover the baby up in the snow, and it's muffled, and you're just hearing it scream and cry and freeze. It's awful. It's horrific. And then there's things like these experiments, the frostbite experiments, where you watch people just sit and freeze with their hands stuck out and getting water dripped all over them, to then be brought inside and have your skin completely ripped from its bones, and their bones are hanging out. It's very horrific. And I mean, for the effects for 88, I mean, they're absolutely delivering. It's still extremely effective. Where this film, I think, really gets into the darkness beyond just the physical stuff. There's one more really gross physical sequence that I can discuss, and I will. But I think what's really important to highlight here is that this movie spends a lot of time with its victims. It spends a lot of time with these people who are living in these prison camps, and they're just having to just get by day and just hope that they don't get selected. And it's horrible. It's awful. It's in every, depiction of this kind of torture, this kind of event in our history. It's all here, and it's turned up to 11 with these biological experiments. I mean, for God's sakes, there's one where I completely forget if it was a pressure thing. I believe it was a pressure chamber where they put a man in a pressure chamber. The effect is glorious. I mean, like, I want to know how they did this because it's impressive as hell, but it's awful. You watch this guy combust, and not only that, you see like his evacuate his and it like it's wild. It's almost unexplainable.
Oh! What the f*** is all? Oh God! Oh!
It is truly one of the most shocking deaths ever. And again, I think that a lot of this comes from just how serious this material is and just how serious this depiction is. There's nothing fantastical about it. And yeah, it's truly harrowing stuff. It is completely depraved, awful, and the fact that it is again based off true events, just like the last film I talked about. That one is based off true events as well, but this one was an event that I was extremely familiar with, one that I've done a lot of looking into research on, and I think the depiction here it's great. It's fantastic. Dare I say this might be the best film that I've reviewed in this series thus far when it comes to these 5 films that are more disturbing than lists. So, Man Behind the Sun, check it out. It's certainly, if you can stomach it, if you can sit through it, it's effective and it's extremely well done. And taking the number 1 spot, we have 2015's Atrocious. While examining a traffic accident where a woman was badly hurt, the unorthodox police commander finds proof of even more gruesome facts and decides to deal out vengeful justice. Oh boy, this movie was another fresh watch, and you guys had been hyping this one up. I'm not going to lie. A lot of people were putting this one in the comments over the last few videos saying, hey, this movie is the most screwed up thing I've ever seen. It's got some scenes that are going to make your jaw hit the floor. And just like the concept of these videos, I'm sitting there saying, ain't no way. No, it's fine. Come on. You're hyping it up. You were not. I learned my lesson.
Oh, what the f- Oh, no! No, dude, what the f- is this?
Godly. This movie, man, is, oh, geez. This movie, guys, is, it's something else. It's found footage, number 1. It's kind of an anthology. It's multiple tapes that we get to witness of different incidences, and good Lord, some of these absolutely do not hold back. They certainly start off and very much feel akin to something like an August Underground, especially in that first tape. But as we continue on through this, we see some. All right, we really do in multiple ways. Because yes, of course. Why wouldn't they? They have poop play in this. There's always poop play. Every one of these movies has poop play. I hate it. I'm done. I'm tired of it. Stop it. It's gross. Put it in the toilet. Flush it away. Yeah, there are seriously some extremely graphic moments in this, especially towards the end of this film, and I think that's going to be the centerpiece here. That's the one that I think takes the absolute cake. We have a segment where the setup, I've written some stuff down here for it, but basically a teenage boy forces his mother to wear a with barbed wire attached to it in order to canoodle the boy's father. They do it, and golly, they put the camera in a spot. I hope I never have to see something like that again. I really don't ever want to see that again. And yes, that scene continues on with the son then slicing off his father's bits, the schmeat, and then he throws that off, or he basically taunts his mother with it after that, and it's awful. It's a horrible event, and it sucks. I hate it. I don't ever plan on witnessing something like that again. The rest of this movie, I mean, it feels almost tame compared to that, but it's certainly not. There's beating up of an unfortunate attack on a trans woman early on in this film that involves, again, fecal matter and stuff. It's gross, it's unsettling, and it just seems to just continue to go on. There's people who are alive at the beginning of SA attacks that are no longer alive by the time that wraps up. I mean, it kind of hits every point. It hits everything. This one goes up there with me with like Trauma and a Serbian film and others when it comes to just like kind of hitting all the bases and just trying to kind of carve out their own little niche at the top of a disturbing horror movies list and segment. And this one certainly has the cojones and has the crazies to get up there with the big dogs. I will say that. This movie is up there. Well, there you have it, folks. There are 5 films that are more disturbing than August Underground. This one was, again, a kind of a rough list. I think I think Man Behind the Sun was a very sobering kind of watch. So certainly kind of honestly happy I saved that one for last, because it again was the most serious film on here. Some of these other ones, man, I don't even think are even worth getting into. I mean, if you're into this kind of stuff, if it fascinates you, I could see where Guinea Pig 2 would fall, but things like Green Elephant, I mean, Cannibal, it's extreme, it's going places, but again, nothing can top 2015's Atrocious. Like that movie was pretty dang tough, and I definitely yeah, thanks for the recommendation, guys. That was cool. No. Point being, thank you again for watching, guys. I always enjoy the comments of these videos. You guys really love this series, and you get so into it, and I really love debating things and talking back and forth with you. So feel free to leave a comment. Let's talk about some more disturbing movies. Did I hit the mark with this one? Am I off? Let me know. And yeah, of course, let's talk more gross movies. Give me more suggestions. There will be more of these in the future. Again, the next one, we're going to be going over 5 films that are more extreme than Human Centipede. And then, you know, as we kind of drift off into more of these disturbing videos, we kind of have to have like a little bit of a climax period, I think, where we're going to just kind of rank all of these. So we're working our way towards that. We'll be planning that here soon. And yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So thank you again so much. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you for making it to the end. Also, huge thank you to Nord for sponsoring this video. This is going to be a pain to get past YouTube censors. So if we can at least get to 40,000 subs and just have some people who genuinely enjoy the content and share it and, you know, spread the love, I'll be a happy camper. So it's all worth it in the end. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up here for me. So until next time, I'm Dylan Newell. And remember, stay scared.
Do the hard shit, gonna do it live. Cause Splattercast kick it every day they live. Splattercast, gonna slash your ass. 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 Splattercast, gonna slash your ass.